Hello and welcome to the Monster Painter. This week we take a look at the Reaper Bones 6 expansion, the Shadows of Sullenhall, and see what spooks lurk there within. Alright then, let us shed some light on the Shadows of Sullenhall and dig into all the gothic goodies that reside in this box. We all know this is the funnest part, cracking open the box. Now, it's time to take a closer look at all the undead goodies that have spilled out onto the table. And what scene of gothic horror would be complete without little piles of bones to set the scene? Nothing like a bit of gruesome debris to make a gothic horror seem horrible, and we get no less than 5 piles of decomposed corpses, perfect for objective markers. You know, that maybe there's treasure in there too, and of course this can be a place where those gothic monsters spawn from. Oh yeah. Well, of course, the gothic monsters that spawn from a pile of skeletons are skeletons. Classic monsters, must-haves for those low-level adventurers. And here we get some really lovely, straight-up skeleton warriors prepared to guard the tomb and menace those players who aren't taking things seriously enough. Now, for added danger, we have skeleton warriors armed with missile weapons, a pair of crossbows, quite threatening, and a longbow. Now, I play Minecraft quite a lot, and everyone knows these skeletons are dangerous. And of course, these guys are going to be just as dangerous on the tabletop, so watch out and get your shields up. What if your players aren't first level adventurers? What if they're higher level and they need more challenging foes? Well, we get some heavily armored, big, tough, badass skeletons. These guys look absolutely terrifying and a suitable threat for those higher level adventurers, because these guys look like skeletal warriors, much tougher than any lousy old skeleton. So you better watch out. Now, of course, any gothic adventure worth its salt is going to need some big bad evil guys. And so we got this charismatic looking vampire and his equally charismatic and sexy looking vampire friend, of course. And but, you know, you got to have a necromancer, and this necromancer looks totally fantastic. I love this model. I think it's probably the best character model I have come across so far in Bones 6. He looks very villainous. He even has himself an apprentice, so he'd make a great necromancer in Frostgrave, of course, but I think I'm going to use him as a wizard in an upcoming Forbidden Psalm warband. Yep, great stuff. I love these models. Now, of course, if any big bad evil guy is going to be taken seriously, he needs some big bad evil monsters to act as his minions. And oh boy, that's a big looking vampire monster dude, a big Batman or a man bat, or no, just a big vampire guy. Looks terrifying, and he's got himself this awesome skeleton giant. Oh my god, that is utterly terrifying and a fantastic model. I like my giants to look like they're giant-sized, and this guy really has that big, girthy mass to him. A perfect giant skeleton. Fantastic models. Now, all those opaque baddies are great, but Sullenhall gives us a bunch of ghostly transparent models as well. It's a really delightful variety of wrathful dead. Each has its own distinct and characterful qualities. These transparent miniatures can be a bit of a trick to paint, and I'm gonna pick up the challenge. I like them so much, I'm gonna get them all done up, and let's take a look at the results. Alright, so the main trick to painting these things is to not do too much. Every layer of paint you add will reduce the transparency of the model and diminish the overall effect. I prep the models with a layer of matte medium first. Plastic Reaper miniatures are often hydrophobic, and I wanted the thin layers of watery washes that I was going to apply to stick, and the matte medium helps this happen. Then I mixed up those washes, a formula of phthalocyanide green and matte medium and a little water. I applied it, let it dry, and then applied it again. This was to create some low lights and bring out the forms. I feel like I might have overdone it a bit and reduced the model's transparency too much. Oh well, there's no going back. I added some interference paint or color shift as highlights on the edges, and then I painted up the bases and the weapons in an opaque manner as to act as a contrast to the transparent parts. The result, while not perfect, is a pretty convincing ghostly apparition. Okay, so here we have the tomb, and it's beautiful looking, nice and lots of details, but God, for heaven's sakes, it is warped all over the place. It looks like it's made out of the classic Reaper Bones material. And so we're gonna have to douse it in boiling hot water and plunge it into freezing cold water. And hopefully that takes care of what is always the worst part of any Reaper Bones set, and problem that frequently occurs with the terrain. Heavy duty warping. Well, let's see if we can solve this. Alright, our Gothic tomb has been through the hot and cold water treatment and is looking much more suitable and a lot less flopsy. I've also added on the I don't know what that is, but it's been added and now it looks like an excellent residence for a dark vampiric overlord. And of course, the set comes with something every vampiric overlord just loves, a nice gothic fountain piece. And ooh, what a sexy gothic fountain piece it is indeed. How unusual. But, you know, it's really not a gothic scene without some terrifying symbols of mortality, good old tombstones. And we get a nice tombstone, a very Celtic cross jobby, looking ever so dark and dreary. And here is the tomb all painted up and looking like the perfect place for Gothic adventure. I gave it a pretty straightforward old stone building paint job, nothing too fancy. It has excellent details and textures. The thing appears to be all one mold, and as a result, it is a very durable piece of terrain. Much tougher than most of the other terrain in my collection, and so it's going to be added to my traveling kit. It is a great mausoleum and an excellent addition to the necropolis of Old Felstad. The tombstone represented some low-hanging fruit and was quick and easy to finish up alongside that mausoleum. Fantasy graveyards are of indeterminate size, and I can always add another one to the old boneyard. This one in particular is set a little back on its base, making it the perfect setting to talk to the dead and learn the secrets of those restless spirits that reside below it. And finally, we come to this lovely high fantasy gothic fountain, littered with bones and decorated with skulls, capped with a mysterious and sexy statue. It may have nothing to do with medieval stonework, but it is perfect for illustrating the grim horror of a vampiric setting. It's so much fun. And of course, I couldn't resist painting up that sphere the statue is holding as a crystal to add to the piece's sense of danger and magical menace. It is a really great piece of terrain, and I love it. So, in conclusion, I think I have to admit this is my favorite set so far in the Bones 6 Kickstarter. Really great stuff, really useful models, and just so damn cool. Well, I think now it's time for a monster fight. This week's match features a heavily armed cryptid known as the Abominable Yeti. A Reaper Bones miniature from 2018 versus the true incarnation of Twaret. A Reaper Bones model from 2016. Who will win? Only the old bones know. Ooh, wow. That is gonna be one hell of a slugfest. Let's see how it plays out. And there you have it. The river has defeated the mountain once again. Hello. I would just like to take a moment to thank my first two channel members, Lauren H. and Man Jr. or Man Jr. Anyway, thanks for joining and supporting the Monster Painter channel. And if you would like to be as cool as Lauren H. and Man Jr., you just click the little button there, the membership button, and you could gain access to monthly members exclusive monster fights, badges, and most importantly, the dark secrets of forbidden gods. So join today. It's a lot of fun. And once again, thank you, Lauren H. and Man Jr., Man Jr. Thanks. Monsters! 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 Nothing but glorious monsters! Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and ring the bell! Ring the bell!
You are watching Les the Monster Painter.